Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I didn't even start yet. Someone gave me a thumbs down. I guess they're like, I don't like this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, your relationship is probably one of the main reasons why the success you have in business is not taking off. Whether you work for somebody or work for yourself. Because a lot of us, first and foremost, we cannot handle our own partner's success. Good evening, Miss Curly Girl. We can't handle our own partner's success. And a lot of us, male and female, men and women, do not put in the work to have a successful relationship. Which do you think makes for a solid, successful business? Doing everything you can or doing just enough to get by? Which one? Doing everything you can or doing enough just to get by? Well, the answer in the context of business is obvious. You do everything you can to make your business successful. That's the same thing that you have to do in your relationship because they coincide together. Whether you just started a business, whether you're in business and you're also in a relationship. Doesn't mean it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or also inside of your marriage. What are you doing to keep those things afloat? Because sometimes in our relationships, we do just enough to keep them afloat. See, we need to fight the tendencies to get lazy and complacent in your relationship. Because if you did that in business, your business would be stagnant. So you have to fight the tendencies to get lazy and complacent in your relationship. Don't just be a good partner. Be the best partner in your relationship that you can possibly imagine. This kind of directed emotion effort yields unlimited dividends as your partner will reciprocate your behavior by lifting you higher and higher throughout your entire relationship. But see, let me go a little bit deeper with that because a lot of times when we talk about the jealousy that some people may be feeling in their relationship, oh, she puts in too much time in her job or he put too much time in their job. Do you want your mate, do you want your partner, do you want your husband or wife to be successful? And at the same time, this is where you have to balance the table. You have to balance your business and your relationship. And it needs to be a healthy balance. But first and foremost, you need to explain to that person that, hey, this is going to take a lot of my time. Are you willing to deal with that? Now, it just depends. Or if you're in the beginning of a relationship, that's kind of the conversation that you need to have. But if you're kind of like in the middle of your relationship, you've been dating maybe 2 or 3 years, or you're married, these conversations you need to still have. You need to have critical and crucial conversations because 2 main reasons why people break up. We all know this, right? Fornication or cheating and also finances, not dealing with your finance. But we understand that business equal finance and finance equal business. That's how people are making money. Either you work for a business or you're in business for yourself. And these are the things that you need to totally understand. Because instead of couples joining forces together and fighting and anything threatening the peace and success of their relationship and or marriage, you see them fighting against each other than what? Communicating. Okay? Everybody wants to prove to the other that he or she is not responsible for the unhappiness in the relationship. Everybody wants to prove their point. Have you ever noticed that when you're talking to your particular partner, your mate, that you're more concerned about what you think and feel rather than what they think and feel? But have you noticed that whether you're on your job or the business that you created, if your personal relationship is not on solid ground, it starts to affect the way you work. It starts to affect the way you conduct business. And this is very important. So the question is, what positive benefits do you gain by shifting the balance and blames of making your partner feel like he or she is responsible for the unhappiness in the relationship and or marriage? What do you get out of that? What do you get out of the sense of I'm always right? Whatever I think and feel and I account for is right. Because we need to understand, you are on shaky ground. It's like being in quicksand. The more you struggle and fight against it, the more that you sink. See, sometimes when you listen to problems, some couples complain about in their relationship, it's really about nothing. It's like the smallest things. And I tell people this, a lot of people argue this, that, it's not the small things, it's the big things. No, the small things equal up to a big thing, right? I remember in previous relationship, it was never a big thing. It was always these little things that just accumulated and summed up, and they just became this big thing. Like, well, why are you breaking up? Well, man, she keep throwing the clothes on the floor. But it wasn't just that. It was this and that and this and that. And misappropriation of the finances. What I've noticed in most relationships, and the reason why people break up, is because of the lack of communication. The lack of communication and the lack of understanding. Now, let's take out cheating. Let's just take cheating way, way, way out. Let's take out abuse. Okay, whether it be physical and verbal, even though there's very violent. Somebody shouldn't be calling you outside your name, and people shouldn't be putting hands on each other. So let's focus on finances. Now, a lot of my issues, in dealing with some of my past relationships, is that I will give them access to money, to my money. I will give them access to credit. I will give them access to resources, and they will misuse those resources and or money. See, my thing is, when I'm getting with somebody and I say that we're in a relationship, we start to build on that base. We start to build on that foundation. And the one thing that you have to establish, other than communication, is trust. You must trust the other person. So the only way you truly can trust somebody is what? You give them essentially a portion of your life, and see if they can handle that. And then you give them more, and then you give them more. But what happens is, when you give people access to certain parts of your life, especially in your financials, and they misappropriate it, they misuse it for their own gain, like buying this, whatever, buying, Jordans, curtains. These some of the things that people were buying with my credit and or money. So you have to be very cognizant of how you open up. And then the flip side of that is, if you never open up, then that person will never know you. You have to gain their trust as well as them gaining your trust. Okay, it's a two-way street. One road, but two-way street. Okay. So sometimes when you listen to the problem some couples complain in their relationship, again, it's about nothing, right? Excuse me. This is what they call problems are not problems. But because they're not mature, they see anything as a threat to their relationship. You see some couples fighting over passwords instead of fighting for peace in their relationship. You see some couples fighting because their partners didn't use their picture on his or her social media, instead of ensuring that she makes preparations to come and see your parents for marriage. Say for instance, you took pictures at the marriage, right? There's a picture of the marriage, but he doesn't show it on his Facebook. You're like, why you don't have, our marriage pictures on the Facebook? Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? And what I've also noticed this too, that social media can destroy relationships. Some people will argue, why does my significant other needs the password to my social media, to my cell phone? That really brings in another conversation. I'm going to touch on that later, about insecurities. And a lot of those insecurities for men and women actually stem from previous relationships and or your past. Okay. Because some of this stuff, believe it or not, could have been downloaded, could have been viewed from your past, of you watching your mom and dad, of the issues and problems they had in their relationships. So sometimes the problem in relationships are self-generated by couples itself. You self-generate the problems yourself. So any problem generated by the couples can also be solved by the couple. See, me personally, I believe most relationships and marriages will work if couples will join forces. They would join forces and come up with ideas and strength to fix their relationship instead of fighting themselves. That is the first thing I see people do. And ladies, I know I know I don't want to go ham on you guys, but ladies, we know what the trend is, that you guys are more emotional than men. Don't get me wrong, men are emotional, but from my experience, okay, this doesn't mean all ladies. My experience shows me that women are quick to argue more so than men. Now, granted, there are some men out there who are quick to argue, but women are more quick to argue more so than a man. And the trouble in this, whether it's a man or a female, the trouble in an argument is, what are you trying to prove? See, my thing is, if you convince me that I'm wrong, you're wrong because X, Y, and Z. And I say, well, where's the evidence and proof in that? Now, if it's something that you said that, well, you do this, that, and the other, there doesn't need to be any evidence or proof. Whatever she feels that I am doing wrong, I'm doing wrong because it's for her perspective. But ladies and men, if you never have the conversation, then he or she will never know. This will keep you on unbalanced ground that will destroy your business and or career. We see it all the time where your personal life blends over into your professional life. We understand this. Because, in some relationships, let's just take, for example, when the vehicle they are using develops a problem, they turn against each other to the extent that they leave the vehicle and walk away separately. Instead of coming together to fix their car, which is their relationship, they rather leave the car, walk away, and look for another person and join in with this or their car. This is the issue that you guys face. This is the issue that you guys face. Take, for instance, there's a car. My car's in the shop now that we're talking about it. But picture the car as a relationship. The car has a problem, which is the relationship. But instead of fixing the car, both of you rather walk away and go join with somebody else with their car instead of fixing the problem. And don't forget, I threw out abuse, verbal and physical. I threw out cheating. We're simply focused on the financial part, how your personal relationship bleeds over, blends over, transpire and transform over into your professional and business life. We got Chief Leaf. He said, my relationship with Kush has kept me going 100%. Well, brother, if drugs is your way, then so be it. Good evening, Jermaine Anderson. But let's move on. Let's move on. Because I believe that this is very important that we talk about this, because if we dive a little bit deeper about some of these traumas that we have actually had issues with, where some of the causes come from? Because a lot of us do what? Self-sabotage our relationships. We do. We self-sabotage our relationship because sometimes the relationship is going too good, and because based upon your past traumas, you believe that he or she is actually acting up. What about in your childhood? Fear of intimacy typically comes from the difficult or abusive parental relationships in childhood trauma, whether it be physical, sexual, or emotional. It's deep. It's deep. It's so deep that it's embedded belief in people who fear intimacy because you simply can't trust that person. I've been in relationships where the woman did not want to kiss. I'm like, so you want to have sex? I can stick my penis in your vagina, but we can't touch lips. Our tongues can't go into each other's mouth. And I've noticed this too. When you first get in a relationship, you tongue kiss, and all of a sudden, tongue kisses come to pecks. And pecks are no longer passionate kisses. But I understand because, early in trusting relationships with parents or caregivers were broken by abuse. This is from your childhood trauma. Because people who fear intimacy believe that people who love them will eventually hurt them. Did you hear me? The fear of intimacy is that people believe those who love them will eventually hurt them. Because as children, they could not extricate themselves from these relationships. But, however, as adults, they have the power to end or leave them. even when they're not inherently abusive. This is what happens because we have different types of fears, do we not? We have different types of fears. We have we have the fear of abandonment, of someone just leaving us, so we leave them first. People are worried that they will lose, essentially. They will lose their identity, the ability to make decisions. I mean, come on. When you're in a relationship, I believe that you guys should make decisions together and that you have your own individual identity, but you also have the identity of the relationship. And there's many signs that you might have a tendency of self-sabotaging even the best of relationships, right? Because of this innate fear that you may have that your relationship is not working out. First and foremost, you know what you do? You don't put all your chips on the table. You're not all in. In poker, they're like, I'm all in. You're not all in. You constantly look for an exit. Well, this relationship don't work out. I got this, that, and the other. And men, I have to raise my hand on this one. We are guilty of a lot of looking for the exit. Some women are too, because of their what? Fear of past relationships. Fear of past relationships. Let me know if I'm wrong. So we're all looking for an exit instead of being all in. Okay? And you have a lot of serial daters out there. Oh my gosh. I've met so many serial daters. And this is the problem. And I'm just going to step out and talk to men for a second and say, I've met a serial dater before. I've met one or two. And they were just dating and dating and dating and dating. But I'm talking to them like, I'm looking for someone. I said, so, the date went good. How about us meet up tomorrow? Oh, we'll have another date. She was open and honest. I loved it. I said, well, how many dates you go on a week? She goes on multiple dates. The next time she had an open appointment for me was another month. I'm like, I'm not waiting for that. She's like, well, I'm just looking right now. Like, but do you want something substantial? You want something significant? You want a real relationship? Well, yeah, I'm looking, and I just don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. But I'm like, how in the hell are you going to get to learn me if you only see me once a month and you're dating all these other guys? See, I think some people's character, some people, the way they go about even looking for somebody else is questionable. And this is for men and women. This is not one-sided. Okay? What about gaslighting in your relationship? Anybody understand that? Gaslighting? Because this is a form of emotional abuse whose aim is to deny the other person's reality or experience. Now, for example, okay? If your partner says, I'm really upset that you canceled our date. I'm really upset that you canceled our date. And you respond with like, you're not really that upset. It's your fault I canceled. And you're just trying to blame it for me. You're just trying to blame it on me. Anybody ever happened to anybody? That's gaslighting. When you use emotional abuse and you try to coerce and flip it and manipulate the situation. But I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I hate serial daters. I hate serial daters. I had a serial dater tell me that you're such a nice guy. I'm just going to let you know I'm out here dating just for free meals. That is what that is what that girl told me. She said, I don't want to waste your time. It looked like you're really looking for somebody. I'm just out here, dating for free meals. I didn't even know what to say. I just said thank you, and yeah, I didn't know what to say. Jealousy can destroy your life. It doesn't matter if it's professional, personal. It doesn't matter. Jealousy in a relationship can destroy your life. You're always worried that your partner might be seeing someone else behind your back. You demand control over every aspect of their life. And you require constant contact. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, where you at? Hey, you didn't call me back 5 minutes ago. Hey, why you not on the phone with me? Hey, where you at? What grown person is going to be checking in with another grown person all the damn time? You lost your mind? When they spend time with other people without you, you text constantly, you call constantly, you want to be on video chat, you ask for proof that they're being faithful, and they break up simply because of jealousy. That goes back to previous relationships and also childhood traumas. Then you're critical. You're critical of everything. You constantly look for perfection in your partner and everything they do, even though you're not perfected. You're not perfect. You find fault with every little thing they do. You throw your clothes on the ground, pick them up and put them. I mean, you find every little thing. You're critical of every little thing. You are impossible to please. And I know women like that, and I know men like that. They are impossible to please. And your partner eventually gives up trying and breaks up with you. What about those who have an avoidance problem? You spend a lot of time trying to convince yourself that the relationship is perfect, even when it's not. You just avoid the problem. He only sees you once a month. Oh, he's busy. Once a month? But you avoid it. No, everything's okay. And then when your partner wants to address a problem, you avoid the topic and simply say, I don't think we're having an issue. It's going good from what I can tell. And then your partner grows resentfulness of your inability to face their problems together and leaves. Some people in relationship hold grudges because holding a grudge against your partner means that your anger never really goes away. You're always angry at that person because you hold a grudge. You hold a grudge. You take a lot of energy to stay mad. It takes real negative energy to stay mad. Like, I am mad at you. Okay. What are you mad at? Well, you showed up an hour late. There was a traffic jam. I don't care. You should have figured out another way. And I know, ladies, you might think I'm playing one side, but I'm a man. I'm just giving you my personal account. Okay? If you see yourself in the mirror, then slap yourself because I'm talking about you. Okay? See, regardless of what your partner does, you always come back to those grudges and you never let them go away. It's a way of protecting yourself by pushing away the other person. As long as you are mad, no one really can get close to you. See, as long as you're mad at somebody, they can never be right. Think about this. If you always hold a grudge against somebody, regardless of what they do, you can always hold them accountable because you hold a grudge and you stay mad at them. I'm still mad at you. Why are you still mad? That happened a month ago. Well, come on, guys. What about stepping out? I know I didn't want to bring this up, but it's something that we should visit because in some cases, having sex with other people, and I don't agree with this. This is just what the world we live in. It's okay when both people agree to a non-monogamy. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You want to go out there and you guys want to swing it here and swing it there, and she want to bust the walk wide open and give it to this person, give it to that person. If that's something that you guys agree on, then so be it. I know for me, hell no, I don't want to share my woman at all. Because think about it, in general, from affair to affair can be a sign of self-sabotage. See, I never understood swinging because when you swinging, you open the door up both ways because that guy or that girl comes in. And what did they leave with your woman or your man? Because you wanted to swing. You want to have a threesome. You want to have a orgy. Not me. See, in my opinion, you're doing one of the most hurtful things you can do to a romantic partner that they'll find out and they'll leave you. Either be cheating or a threesome. Foursome, orgy, whatever. This is a good one. What about low self-esteem? You always talk about yourself in a self-depreciation ways. I'm not that smart. I'm kind of fat, and well, I don't think I can do it. I'm not as smart as you. I'm just an idiot. Why are you with me? I'm not that special. You can be with anybody else. I'm not that special. You're just with me because you pity me. You feel sorry for me. These are signs of low self-esteem. And most people do not enjoy being told that they love someone who is worthless. So think about that. If you're saying, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, why are you with me? I'm not worthy. Why would I want to be with you the whole time? You're talking like you're worthless. Despite the constant reassurance that you are a good person, you keep tearing down yourself and then they give up and break up. These are the issues that we have, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it or not, if you don't believe me, just ask somebody. I'm pretty sure there's someone in your circle that will let you know that because of relationship, their business was fractured, their career was ended. It hurt their money. And a lot of people don't like to have this conversation, but it's a conversation to have because a lot of times, if you are a person who is constantly thinking about the other person, you think they're cheating, you think you could be doing something else productive. Well, let me see your phone. Well, here you go. You can see my phone. You can see my phone. But if you're always worried about the other person, if you hold grudges against the other person, if you physically or verbally abuse against the other person, if you use self-sabotaging ways, if you have previous issues from previous relationships and or self-esteem problems, you're going to have issues in your personal relationship and also in your business relationships. See, a lot of us, believe it or not, one of the most important relationships that you ever had was your first relationship. If he or she cheated on you, if he or she cheated you in any sort of way, if he or she physically abused you, if he or she talked to you in a particular manner, it will affect every relationship going forward unless you understand the problem. If you get help, whether it be family friend or a therapist, psychiatrist, or you basically understand the problem that occurred in that relationship and you fight your damnness so you don't repeat the cycle and or history. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I lived in a Black community. I saw a lot of abuse, a lot of verbal abuse. And I told myself early on, I want to say around the age of between 22 and 25, that I am not going to call any woman a bitch. I'm not going to curse any woman out. I'm not going to do it. I don't care what the industry, the market, everybody saying on rap music. I am not calling the lady that I'm trying to court, the lady that I'm dating, the lady that I fall in love with. I'm not going to call her the B word. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say F you. I'm not going to do it. That's verbal abuse. I'm not going to do it. Because this is the thing. If I got to do that constantly, then why am I with you? If I'm abusing you constantly, then why am I with you? Why am I with you? If we don't respect one another, then why are we with each other? Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to hurt you on your job. It's going to hurt you in your career. If no one respects you, if no one respects your privacy, if no one respects your space, it will affect your finances. We're not going to get into stalkers. We're not going to get into all of that. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to keep this in the forefront of your mind when you hold grudges against your partner. Okay? Childhood traumas, the different fears, the fears of abandonment. We talked about that, of somebody leaving you. So you leave them first. See, one thing I didn't talk about, and this is about me. I used to be a runner. I used to run away from relationships early on. I did. You know, I don't want to say it was a fear of abandonment, but when there was issues in a relationship, not one or two, but a multitude of issues, I'm one of the people, I want to sit down and I want to communicate. And then, okay, you don't want to talk about it. All right, you want to talk about it right now. Okay, I'll wait till we both calm down. I come back to the situation. It's over now. It's not a big deal. Now you avoiding it. Remember, we went over that avoidance. Like, no, there's an issue in our relationship. If I did not want to be with you, I wouldn't want to talk about it. You get what I'm talking about? Here's the thing, ladies and men. If you want to be with somebody, you want to sit down and you want to have the conversation so you can work on fixing the issue. If that person doesn't want to work on fixing the issue, guess what? Eventually you're going to break up with them, regardless of how much you love them. Hopefully I'm helping somebody. Because we're not going to get crazy about how women and men show up on each other's job and they get fired. Like, man, you got your wife all at the job and stuff talking about this, that, and the other. Because of her previous marriage or her previous relationship or childhood traumas that all men cheat. Or you went inside the bank account and you took out $5,000 because you wanted to pay for a vacation trip with the boys, but you did not consult your wife. You did not consult your lady. Ladies and gentlemen, this happens all the time. The two main causes of divorce and people breaking up is finances and infidelity. And it all boils down to two basic things: communication and understanding. We all have our breaking point when it comes to relationships. And you should never, ever get close to your breaking point. And you should never, ever look for an exit of that relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're looking for an exit, then just break up, because you're gonna stop a lot of hurt and pain between you two. You're gonna stop a lot of hurt and pain if you're looking for the exit. You're like, man, I'm just waiting for this chick to mess up. As soon as this chick messes up, I'm out of here. You don't belong with her. You don't love her. You don't admire her. You're not responsible for her. And ladies, if you're looking for an exit, he remind me of my ex, just break up with him. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna fall deeper in love, but you're gonna still feel the same way because you have some issues that you need to deal with. A lot of times we jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and our life is so unbalanced that our professional careers can't take off. Why didn't I get promoted? I've been working for the company for 5 years. Well, you missed these couple of days. Your deadlines were late. Why? When you look back at the source, look at your personal relationship. Look at your personal relationships. What about when you gaslight the relationship? You reverse the situation. Oh, I'm mad at you because you were supposed to wash clothes. And then the only reason why I didn't wash clothes is because you stopped me from washing clothes. You reverse the situation. You manipulate the situation. So no one is ever right, but everybody is always wrong. Does that make any sense? Like, you always flipping and reversing it because you have to be right. You have to. Here's the thing. Who's going to wear the pants in the relationship when it comes to healthy and strengthening and building and fixing a relationship? And I don't mean pants in a sexual manner, but who's going to essentially man up? Like, you know what? This is petty. But let's have a discussion about this and let's work something out. Let's work something out. Because the major thing what I've figured out in relationship is that sometimes we need roles. More times than that, we need roles. What do you like to do versus the things you don't like to do? Because here's the thing, a lot of women don't like to take out the trash. Okay, I don't mind taking out the trash. But here's the thing, if a woman like to take out the trash, I'm a man, I'm going to take out the trash. I don't care, I'll take out the trash. Okay, babe, take out the trash. Because maybe she likes taking out the trash and I like doing the windows. But that's the problem. We're so traditional in the way that we think that we allow our past childhood relationships, and where, you know, my dad, he never let my mom take out the trash. My dad, he was good with his hand. My mom stayed in the kitchen. Listen, live your life the way you want to live your life, not the way you saw somebody living their life. Because some women are like, oh yeah, I'm old fashioned. No, you not. As they said, you got a whole career, you have a whole apartment, a whole house, and you got that on your own. See, what you mean you're old fashioned? You mean that you still live with your parents and you're waiting for a young gentleman to come and court you and to essentially sweep you off your feet and marry you? That's the old fashioned I'm talking about. No. This is what you're talking about. You're talking about, well, I have my own career, my own job, my own car, my own this, my own that. But I want a man to come in and I want him to pay for everything because that's what men do. Whoa. You mean to tell me you have your own money, you have house, car, all that stuff, your own 401k, own this, own that, but you want a man to come into the relationship and do everything? Just saying. And then men, you essentially want women to do everything inside the house. What if she don't want to? Men, we got to get off our butts, and sometimes we got to clean the bathroom, we got to vacuum, we got to sweep. Sometimes I got to go on the app and hit the robo-vac. Baby, I'm a vacuum. Robo-vac. I'm vacuuming. She be like, good. Sometimes we have to do those things, even if we don't like to do those things. But we have roles and different parts in a relationship, in a marriage, that we have to play in order for it to work. Or it will, not might, it will affect your finances. I see you, Miss Curly Girl. She's talking about, yep, I hate taking out the trash. I don't know why women hate taking out the trash. You know, well, I'm glad I got a man. Now I don't have to take out the trash. Girl, get out of here. You know what? If you don't like taking out the trash, then don't put trash in the trash can. I know it doesn't make any sense. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, that first date, okay, if you're not in a marriage or relationship, that first date, make sure they're not a serial dater. Make sure they're not just dating multiple people. Okay? Very, very vital. You'll be wasting your damn time. If you're with a jealous person, when I say this, I mean this 1000%. Jealousy can kill you. Literally. He or she will kill you because of their jealousy. Just saying. Just saying. Also, don't look at your partner like they're perfect. Don't be critical of everything they do. They're not perfect. We are not perfect. If you're not perfect, then you have to know they're not perfect. So you can't get mad, upset, and frustrated of everything they do because you believe that they should be doing it in a certain way, in a certain manner, and that they should go about being perfect and in a sense of perfection. That is absolutely wrong, and you're being too darn critical of them. Crucial conversations, you got to have them. You cannot avoid them. You cannot avoid them. If you avoid crucial conversations, the things that bother you in your relationship, you do not have a relationship or marriage. Again, if you avoid crucial conversation of the things that bother you and make you upset and make you frustrated, if you avoid those conversations, you don't have a relationship or marriage. And hopefully you're not holding a grudge against your significant other. And hopefully you're not cheating on your significant other. And if you have low self-esteem in your relationship, I would advise you to get some help, to talk to a mentor or someone that's came before you. Hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and like as well. Share, like, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber yet, I handle financial topics all the time. And I'm reading your notes, Miss Curly Girl. I hate pumping gas too. My lady hates pumping gas too. But guess what? When you're riding by yourself, you got to pump your gas. But before, ladies and gentlemen, before the next time you get into an altercation, debate, argument with your significant other, instead of pumping gas, I want you to pump your brakes, and I want you to think about the next words you say out your mouth, because it could be your last in that relationship. I'm just saying. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And most important thing, respect each other in love and in kindness. Give this video a thumb up and share it to those who may find use and information with this. All right? You guys have a great night. I'm out.